Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh Shai,
Barakatah Yahweh Shai,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh Shai,
Barakatah Yahweh Shai,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
All praises, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our apostles at Great Millstone, who rule and teach well, through the spirit of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, who lift up this holy word as a banner to get it throughout the four corners of the world, so that you fellow laborers, you Akim that are part of the hopefully elect, will hear it and believe and come into this faith of ours. You know, as it is written in the scripture, faith come by the hearing of the word. You know, so it's important that not only the apostles get this word out, but that we, hearing them and believing, that we get it out too, you know, so that all of the elect may be sealed up and we can get out of this place. You know, this place which is the worst captivity that we've been in thus far, you know. And we're in the last days. And the scripture talks about how in the last days persecution will arise. And we seeing the pot is beginning to boil. You know how when you watch a pot, and it may seem like it's taking forever for that water to boil, you know, but now we're at the point where that water is beginning to boil, you know. So this everything that this place was set up to do, you know, to fulfill all of the prophecies, it's doing it. You know, and there's a few final prophecies that are set up to take place. One extreme prophecy is being the RFID, which is the mark of the beast. You know, and the prophecy that will accompany that prophecy would be the time of Jacob's trouble. You know, when they're persecuting the man of the Lord. But like it says in Revelations 3 and 10, it says, because we have kept the word of the Most High's patience, he would keep us from that hour of temptation that comes upon the world to try men. So we're entering in that time when you brothers are going to be tried, and the real from the flaky are going to be found out. You know, those brothers that are sincere, those brothers that trust in Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai with their whole heart, mind, body, and soul, those brothers that are not offended. You know, because the time is coming where brothers are really, not all brothers, but some brothers that you thought were brothers, they're really going to be offended, you know, because like it says in the Apocrypha, in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, you know, it talks about how there's going to be a great insurrection upon the men of the Lord, man. And you can see that happening. Here it is in the news. You got them trying to tie, you know, the Hebrew Israelites, which they like to call us Black Hebrew Israelites. They're trying to tie us into terrorism, to try to make it seem like we're ISIS members or something. When we've been preaching out of the Bible, well, ISIS don't preach out of the Bible, man. They believe in the Quran, which ISIS is set up by the CIA. You know, we don't deal with none of that. All we deal is with the Bible and the prophecies that are within this book. And the scriptures say, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Right. And they want to tie us to that because we're the biggest threat to them than anybody. We're a bigger threat to them than Russia, man. Because we have the truth. We have the truth, and we're bringing out who they are, you know, which is detrimental to their society or to their future that they're trying to build. Which they can't build that future anyway because it's not written in the word of the Lord, man. But because you're bringing out this word and you're bringing out this truth, the devil hates you, you know, because he hates truth. So therefore, there's a great insurrection that's about to be upon the men of the Lord, and you can see it. You can see it transpiring right before your very eyes. They're setting up to go forward with their agenda, you know. And when they come forward with their agenda, they're going to come down on you with all their might, man. So this is the time when it's going to be found out who really trusts in Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, man.
2nd Ezra 16 and 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord Yahweh.
Like madmen. A madman doesn't have a regard for someone's life. All right? A madman doesn't have a regard for someone's wife. A madman doesn't have regard for someone's child. A madman doesn't have regard for the elderly. He don't care. He's not going to spare none, man. The only thing that he wants to see is red, and that's the blood that's leaking and pouring out from you. You know?
For they shall waste and
And
take.
that madman is a so-called white man, which is Esau, which he is, man. Go ahead.
For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they.
That's speaking about martial law. They're gonna come to your house about 4, 5 in the morning when you're good in deep sleep. When you're in that REM sleep, that rapid eye movement.
Mhm.
That's that good sleep. You're gonna be dreaming about how you're about to have a good day tomorrow. A good time tomorrow. Like Ice Cube, today was a good day. And next thing you know, you're gonna get woke up out of your sleep, man. By somebody kicking in your door. That's them spoiling your houses, man, casting you out of your houses. Go ahead.
Then shall they be known who are my chosen.
Then they shall be known who are my chosen for multiple different reasons. Because they're gonna be the ones that those, because they know your IP address. They can follow your IP address. They know what you've been looking at on YouTube. They already got you flagged. So the men of the Lord are gonna be the first ones that they come up against. They're gonna try to demonize you on television. They're gonna try to demonize you on the radio, and then also the men of the Lord have been prophesying this for a long time now, that it was going to transpire, that it would happen. And when it began to happen, then you people are going to say, well, these men prophesied that. Then you're going to try to flip flop and try to believe, but then it's going to be too late, man. And for another reason too, the men of the Lord are only going to be the ones that escape what's about to come.
And they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, said the Lord Yahweh by Shem Shai, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
So the men of the Lord are going to be delivered from those times. You know what? And since it was quoted, this is Revelations 3:10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." And the hour of temptation is when they implemented the RFID chip. When the economy collapsed, when there's a famine of food, when there's a famine of water, when there's a famine also of the word of the Most High Heavenly Father. And the Most High is going to be with the elect, with the chosen of the Lord, the ones that is keeping his word, that's keeping his patience, that's keeping the faith. He's going to be with them to deliver them out of that. They're not going to have to take the mark of the beast, but a lot of you people, a lot of you guys that call yourself being in the truth, which are not serious about this truth, like when you read down into the 15th verse, it says, "I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would that thou were cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and because Salaki, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew you out of my mouth." Well, you guys that are lukewarm, that are just hanging around, that's giving the appearance that you're in this truth, you're gonna be found out in that day, because when all hell breaks loose, you're not gonna trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You're gonna seek to find your own life, and when you seek to find your own life, you're gonna lose it. It's gonna be some of those guys that you would never even thought. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 10:39. He that findeth his life shall lose it, And he that loses his life for my sake shall find it.
And he that loses his life for my sake. And what the scripture says, when you go over here to Revelations, the 20th chapter, and you read, let me see, when you read Revelations 20:4, it says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. They lost their life, but they gained their life. You know, you gotta be of that mind state where you're willing to lose your life for this truth, man. And this is serious. A lot of brothers came into this truth and they didn't even count the cost. You didn't even take into consideration what you were getting yourself into. So therefore, when these things begin to happen, you bug out. You lose your mind. You're like, what am I going to do? The Samoans are coming. You know?
Yeah,
that's a little inside joke. You know, you can't fear. You can't. Hey, the scriptures say, "Fear not him that has the ability to kill the body." You know, but fear him that after have killed the body, have the power to kill the soul in the hellfire. You supposed to fear Yahweh, man.
Right.
And you supposed to have faith in his son Yahushua. You supposed to have faith in the Most High, that if you died in this truth, the Most High can wake you back up the same way that he did his son. And if you don't believe that, you ain't in this truth, man. If you don't believe that, you're a fucking fake. You're a fucking phony, man. You're supposed to believe that the Most High Heavenly Father has the ability to raise you up the way that he raised his son up. Which we have that faith, man. That if we died in this truth, we will be risen back up the same way that Yahushua was risen back up. If you don't have that kind of faith, you ain't in the truth. You don't really believe in this thing. You ain't sincere.
This is Sirach 4:28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. That's what he said. The Lord shall strive unto the truth, and unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee.
Go over to Sirach 2 and begin at 7.
Sirach 2:7. Ye that fear the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, wait for his mercy.
Ye that fear Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, wait for his mercy. That means to have patience. And the scriptures saying your patience possesses your soul. That means that you got to do what? You got to endure to the end. You can't, when something begins to happen, some form of persecution, some form of temptation, you can't just lose all that spirituality that you claim you had and just get carnal. And start bugging out, start mourning, start crying. Unless you're crying unto the Most High Heavenly Father.
And go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, believe him, and your reward shall not fail.
But believe him. Like, for example, right? The Maccabees, they employed their trust in Yahweh by Shem Yahushai when they were fighting Nicanor in 2nd Maccabees, the 15th chapter. They prayed to the Most High to send a good angel the same way that he sent an angel to fight for the children of Israel against Sennacherib, the king of Assyria. That's putting your trust in the Most High. That's believing that the Most High can deliver you. What did they do? They read that story and they believed that it actually happened, not being there to see it. That's what you consider faith. In 2nd Maccabees, the 7th chapter, with the brothers and the mother, They employed faith in the Most High Heavenly Father, having an understanding of the scriptures that there was a such thing as a resurrection, which they can comprehend that back then. They can comprehend that people live again, that you will be raised back up, knowing that it was going to be Yahushua that did it. But you people fear death more than you fear the Most High Heavenly Father. When the scriptures say that the issues of death belong to the Most High. So guess what? If he can kill, the Most High can also make alive, man. But do you have the faith? Do you have the faith to trust in that? To believe that?
Ye that fear the Lord Yahweh by Shemi Shai hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generation of old and see that did ever any trust in the Lord Yahweh by Shemi
And how do you look at the generations of old? You look at the generations of old by way of reading these scriptures, man. Not reading the fucking Quran, not reading the Kibra Negas, the Metanetta, not reading the Babylonian Talmud, but by reading the holy text, man, the Holy Bible. That's how you look at the generations of old. You go back and you read the stories about them and how they employed their trust and their faith in the Most High Heavenly Father and how he was able to deliver them. And you reading that, you begin to have faith and believe that the Most High can do the same. Like there's going to be a famine. When you believe that the Most High can feed you with manna the way that he fed the children of Israel, which we are, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the rest of the Israelites that are scattered abroad, how he was able to feed us a while ago in the wilderness with angels' food, as the Bible describes it. And how he made that holy oil, that holy water flow out of the rock, man.
Right.
He can do that same thing in this time because the Most High ain't changed, man. Just because you haven't seen him, just because he haven't showed his face, doesn't mean a goddamn thing. The Most High has not changed, man. And he's the same as he was yesterday, and he's going to be the same today. All you got to do is have faith in him.
And who was and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord Yahweh by Shemi Shai is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in a time of affliction.
And save us in the time of affliction, which is about to come upon us, man. The so-called white man, he ain't playing, man. A lot of you niggas is about to die and be put to death. And in this time that's about to come upon this place, we're about to find out who really trusts in the Lord, man. We're about to find out who really trusts in Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. And you see the news, you see what's going on, how they trying to make Jake face the new face of terrorism, man. The new face of domestic terrorism. So that they can justify the agenda that they've already had planned against us for since 100, 200, maybe 50 years ago, man. They've been planning this for a while. This ain't no contingency plan. This ain't no just spare the moment plan. This is something that they've been planning for a while, man. This ain't no backup plan. This plan A. This ain't plan B. You know, like the contraceptive. You know, the pill that you can take to abort your baby, or to stop yourself from getting pregnant.
Verse 12: Woe be to the fearful heart and faint hands, and the sinner that goes two ways.
And the sinner that goes two ways. That's you lukewarm guys, man. You guys that ain't serious about this truth. You guys that ain't really count the cost. That's just in this thing, just dallying along. You know? The Most High is about to get rid of y'all, man. And the only ones that's going to be left are the ones that are serious. The ones that are sincere. Not you guys that are just in this just to be in this, just because it's a thing to do. This is serious, man. This truth is serious, man.
Verse 13, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be
Because
delivered.
you really don't believe. What
I'll defend it.
you really don't believe. So why should the Most High defend you? You're faint-hearted, so the Most High will not defend you. Can you read that again, Slakia?
Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. So
You can speak on it.
so you ain't gonna be defended in the days that's coming, the days of great tribulation, death, and destruction. The Lord's not gonna protect anyone that doesn't believe. And if you don't believe, why are you here? Why are you in the truth if you don't believe? Why are you just hanging around? This isn't a hangout club. This isn't just something to do for fun on Saturdays. This is the truth of the matter. That all hell is about to break loose, man. And that the Lord is about to really bring great death and destruction. And that if you don't believe on this, that you're not gonna be defended, man. You gotta have that faith. You gotta have that faith that Yahweh Shem Shai is gonna be with you in these times. And if you don't have that faith, then you might as well kill yourself.
Con. And then you know what? I got a perfect precept to follow that. This is Matthew 24 and 37. It says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son be. The Son of Man be. Why? Well, when Noah was out there building the ark, he was also prophesying of the coming destruction. You know? And did anybody believe him? You know? No, they didn't believe him. So guess what? When the Most High came,
Killed.
and he shut that door on that ark and only allowed 8 people to survive. And the rest of the people were destroyed. Why? They didn't have faith in the Most High. They didn't believe in him. So guess what? When that flood came, they wasn't defended. They were destroyed. That's the same thing that's going to happen to you people in this time now that does not put your trust in Yahweh by way of his holy son, Yahweh Shai.
Drowning is a horrible death, and so is fire. That's what's coming. That great flood of fire is coming to the planet Earth. And if you don't have faith in the scriptures in this word of Yahweh Shem Shai, and you want to be in the world, the Lord's gonna allow you to go to the world, man. He's gonna put you back in the world, and you're gonna die in the world with your family and with your kids and with everything that you loved in the world. The Lord's gonna burn you up, and them right along with them. If you really want to save your kids, you'll count the cost, coming to truth, and believe on the word of Yahweh Shem Shai.
God. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
That's bullshit. And
knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. You know, because that thermonuclear fire is what's going to take you away. And the only ones, the elect of this time, which the elect of that time were the 8. The elect of this time is going to be, you know, the 144,000 and 1/3. You know? Which their chariot that delivered them was that ark, but we're gonna have, you know, the chariots that the angels are in to deliver us from this place. And when you're seeing that salvation, you're gonna behold it, and you're gonna be so amazed. You're gonna be amazed, and you're also gonna be confounded, and you're also gonna be condemned, because when we spoken to you, you didn't want to hear it. You got something?
Yeah, this is Matthew 13 and 21. Yet
20.
Yeah, 20.
So you can start at 20.
Yeah.
But this is the parable about the sower. You know how he sowed seed, and some seed fell, you know, in different places. But the point that we want to focus on is the seed that fell upon the stony ground. You know, which you brothers, or you so-called brothers that call yourself being in the truth, and yet you're in the truth for a while, You've been hanging around, you've been enduring for a while, but yet as soon as some temptation or some hell comes, then you just turn your back on the truth. It's like you never even been a part of the thing, like you've never been associated with it. A lot of you guys, they're gonna come and they're gonna say, "Well, we know that you were out there." You're gonna deny it, man. You gonna deny Yahweh Shai. You're gonna deny being an Israelite. You're gonna deny being part of this truth, and they're gonna say, "Okay, well, prove it. Take this chip." And you're gonna say, "Okay, well, we're here. Which hand do you want me to take it in?"
And then kill you.
Okay, go ahead.
Mercifully, gonna torture your ass. Matthews 13 and 20. But he that receiveth the seed unto the stony place, the same is he that hears the word and enjoy
Door.
and doesn't what's that and they don't and enjoy.
Says hear the word and receiveth it, and with joy receiveth it.
Oh, and with joy, with
Receiveth it.
receives it. Yet hath he not root in him, but endures for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended.
When persecution and tribulation arise, the nigga act like he never was a part of this thing, or like he don't want to be a part of this thing. He would say some shit like, "Well, I'm done with Israel. I don't want to be a part of Israel no more. It's too much drama. What you think? It's supposed to be drama. Hey, the Most High loves controversy.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be drama. When you read the New Testament, it's full of what? It's full of drama.
Yeah. It's controversy.
It's full of controversy. You got anything else?
You got something?
Yeah, I got something. And this is Luke 21. Cause hell yeah, there's about to be persecution and tribulation. The time is coming where this devil is about to cast us into prison. He's about to persecute us. And like we've been saying, the time is coming where it's gonna be found out who's serious about this truth and who's not, man. So either you gonna get with this thing wholeheartedly, or you might as well just go ahead, man, and just bounce, man.
Yeah.
If you ain't serious about this truth, man, if you ain't ready to lose your life for it, if you ain't ready to be cast into prison for it, if you ain't ready to be persecuted of our adversaries, whether it's your family or foe, then you might as well go ahead on. You wasting your time, man. Because you're gonna be found out whether it's right now or later. You're gonna be found out. Cause once this fire get lit, a lot of you people are gonna burn. You're not gonna be able to withstand that fire. Because you're not those vessels that are unto honor. You're not that gold or that silver that's being refined or tried in that fire that comes out pure and shining. You're that wood, and you're that unprofitable, those things that are not fit for use. You're those branches or that wood that's going to be cast into the fire. You're those thorns. Hey, the scriptures say that in the house, there's vessels unto honor, and then there's vessels unto dishonor. The ones that are vessels unto honor are the ones that's going to withstand that persecution, man. That's going to withstand that tribulation that's about to come. But this is part of the persecution that's about to come. This is Revelation 2 and 10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. You know, that's what we're laboring in this thing for that crown of life.
This is.
But shit, hell, he's about to cast some of you into prison. And in those prisons, don't think it's just going to be, no, okay, I'm in prison and that's it. It ain't going to torture you in those prisons. Here it is, the disciples, the prophets, they were tortured. They didn't have easy deaths. There's a video, I believe it's TD Jake's voice on it, you know, but a brother put it together. And you can type in YouTube, none of the disciples recanted their faith. I think that's what it's called. But basically, it just gives the rundown on how all of the apostles of the Most High Heavenly Father, I think except John, who was on the island of Patmos, all of them suffered, man. Even though John suffered too, being on that damn island, you know, mining salt. If you ain't suffering, the Most High ain't dealing with you. Point blank, period, man. If you ain't going through nothing, the Most High ain't dealing with you. If you just got it easy, you know, which I mean, some brothers might have a little easier than the others, because Yahushua said unto Peter, you know, in regards to John, he said, and what would I if he tarried until I came, you know? He said, what would I if he tarried until I came? You know, so some may have it easier than others, but that's just the mercy of the Most High. But the average guy, man, if you ain't suffering, and because the scripture talks about suffering in the book of Peter's, it says that he that suffered has ceased from sin, man.
God. This is Revelation 10, 2 and 10.
I just read it.
You just read
it? Can you grab Luke 21 and 10?
Didn't you just read that? That's what
no, I ain't read. I was gonna read it.
Oh, okay.
Kind of, but I wanted to get that first to bring out the point. You know that we're about to be cast into prisons, man. We're about to be tried. They'll tempt us. You know, waterboarding us. You know, using all different other kind of devices on us. While they're tempting you, depriving you of sleep, and they're gonna try to get you to take that chip, but you gotta constantly be in the meditation of the Most High Heavenly Father. You gotta trust that the Most High is with you. You gotta have faith in His Son. And you know what? In a lot of brothers' cases, you know, the brothers that don't have to die for this, the Most High will send an angel to deliver you. And you might be asleep, right? Hit me on my side. Hit me on. You know, and the angel smite you the way that they smote Peter. You know the way that the angel smote Peter. Hey, he probably smacked Peter. You know, he woke up out of his sleep. You know, not realizing that it was an angel and thinking it was a dream. Next thing you know, you're free, man. You gotta have that kind of faith, all right?
I thought he was asleep.
You know, you gotta have that kind of faith. You gotta believe that what's written in this book is real, man. That it's legitimate. You know, a lot of guys pick up this Bible and they read it as if it's just a novel. They don't really have faith in what's written inside of this
history book.
You know, that's the reason why the scriptures say he do it for what? Yeah, when he hear it, he receiveth it with joy. But when persecution and temptation arise, by and by, he is offended. So he say, man, well, forget everything that's in that book, you know. I need to, you know, get some gold and some silver, you know. How's that going to save you, man?
Shit.
When you try to bribe these motherfuckers with gold and silver, they might even take your gold and silver, but then they still going to cast your black ass into prison and persecute you and torture you.
This is Luke. I didn't mean to hit you like that.
No, you good. You good.
That was malicious.
It's all right, man. The angel will hit you harder than that. You know? Wow. Oh yeah. That was malicious, brother. You know what I'm saying? You can't be hitting me like that. That's a little inside joke.
Luke 21 and 10. Then said he unto me, Nation. He said 21.
Kind. Yep.
Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in their diverse places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful signs, and great signs.
Yep. 21 and yep. Start from 10. Yep. You got it. And earthquakes.
Yeah.
Which is these are signs. The first one says kingdom shall be against kingdom. Well, we're seeing that right now. When America dropped those 59 cruise missiles on those Tomahawk cruise missiles on Syria, and Russia is back in Syria. That damaged whatever relationship that America and Russia was trying to establish. That's nation against nation. America threatening to do the same thing to Korea. That's nation against nation. We're seeing that. We're looking on the news and we're seeing how 8.5 earthquakes are popping off. 6.5, 7.5.
Earthquake every day.
We're seeing them happen everywhere in all places, man. This is just a sign. This is just signs before the coming of the Son of Man, which is Yahushua. Go ahead. And people seeing this. Brothers are seeing prophecies pop off, but they still bugging out. They're still tripping. They still don't have no faith. Here it is. These things was written way before we even came on the scene. And we're reading it, and we're seeing it manifest before our eyes, and you still don't have faith? What's wrong with you?
Fearful signs and great signs shall there be from heaven, but before all these they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you and deliver you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and for rulers for my name's sake.
There you go. So you brothers, a lot of you are going to be brought before, rulers and judges, and cast into prison. But when you're taken into those situations, it's so that you can testify Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So you don't be afraid. Trust in the Lord, man. And trust in the Spirit, because He's gonna be with you, and you're gonna have to testify. You might get put to death, but when you get put to death, you're gonna be right on that ship.
It's a golden ticket.
You're gonna be right on that ship. And matter of fact, just to prove that, right? Because the scriptures say, "Prove all things." This is 1 Thessalonians 4 and 16. It says, for Yahushua himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and the voice of the with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead and Mashiach shall rise first. So you're gonna go right from death. You're gonna die and be right in the chariot, man. But then if you don't die, the Most High will give you a miraculous deliverance, to where those people really know that this is a man of the Lord. But it's also to glorify the Most High, and it's also to raise awareness of the Most High and to glorify His Son.
Raise awareness. Lord gonna be glorified in these days.
He's gonna be glorified. Even Yahushua said that. Yahushua said, "Father, glorify your name." And a voice came from heaven, and it says, I've glorified it, and I will glorify it again. And the Lord's name was glorified when He brought all of those plagues upon Egypt. And the scripture says, unto Pharaoh He said, and for this very same purpose have I raised thee up, that I may magnify my name. And the scriptures say, no longer shall they say, great is Yahweh that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But great is Yahweh that brought up the children of Israel out of the north country. Yeah. You can read about that in the book of Jeremiah. Yeah. The Most High is about to glorify Himself, man. And if that means through your persecution, then damn it, be persecuted so that the name of the Most High can be glorified, man.
That's right.
So that His Son can be glorified.
That's right. Brothers and Maccabees, they gonna come back in this story. They is back in this time, and they gonna get these devils, man.
The Most High gave you the life that you have, man.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you should be willing. If it wasn't for Yahushua dying for us, we wouldn't have no fucking life, man. We would have been like Sodom and Gomorrah. The Most High would have wiped us the fuck out. So why not present your body as a living sacrifice?
Scriptures say do that.
Why not? Well, without Him, we don't have a life anyway. Matter of fact, we don't have a fucking life right now. You got one more?
There's more to this.
Kinda.
And it shall turn to you for you a testimony. Set it therefore in your heart.
You can speak on it too.
Settle it therefore in your heart. So you're supposed to know that these things are going to happen to you. Now to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. So the Lord's going to, you basically have to have faith that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to be with you, even unto death. Even if you do die, you can't bug out. You can't lose the faith.
You gotta be like Stephen.
Yeah. Because you could literally, the Lord might kill you. He might take you out. You might die. But that's all just to the glorification of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If you die, you're still going to be in the kingdom. You get your reward. Mm-hmm. So don't fail at the last second, man. We have to I haven't seen the video, but the brother put up a video. We're in the championship round. Don't fail at the championship round, because like the brothers in the base said, the fight is fixed, man. You're gonna win, rather you lose. You're gonna win, man. Rather you catch an L on this side by dying, you still gonna win, man. And rather you get delivered by a chariot, you still win. So it's a win-win situation. You just have to endure through whatever comes upon you.
This is Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Yeah.
It's
a win-win situation.
It's a win-win. All you got to do is just endure to the end. And the end doesn't come until those missiles hit. Yeah. So all while you're being persecuted and tempted, because all of the things that we've been going through and all the things that we've been learning, that has been building us up for the now. That's the reason why the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. It's been building us up for right now. So everything that you learned, it doesn't count until after you finish that final exam. Until after you finish that final exam. If you give up before that exam is over, like let's say for instance they gave you an exam at school where you had to do finals.
ACT.
If you gave up before you took those finals, all of the shit that you learned the 4 years prior, or matter of fact, because you're in school for 12, right? All of the things that you've learned throughout those whole 12 years, it don't matter. Because you ain't gonna pass unless you take that final. Yeah. That final is all of this hell that we're about to catch in these here last hours, man.
What's that lawyer's test called?
The bar.
Yeah, the bar. If you walk out from that, you fail. You're never gonna be a lawyer, man.
That's right.
You fail.
That's right.
You can't walk out. You got, no matter how hard the test is or seems, you just have to take it. And the Lord, as long as you finish the test in righteousness, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna be with you.
That's right. So you brothers keep enduring to the end, and have faith. Have faith in Yahweh through Yahushua that you can be delivered in these times that we're about to go into. Because it's about to get hard out here. And the only one that can deliver us from these things that are about to befall us is our Lord, man. Is Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. So with that, we hope this lesson was edifying. Until the next time, Shalom.
Shalom.